Hi, my name is Kelly Barner, and welcome to Supplier Diversity Discussions. And one of the most interesting things that I've had the opportunity to do during the course of this project is have conversations with people outside of my typical network. So usually I'm talking to procurement and supply chain professionals, and they're very familiar with the supplier diversity movement. But through my fellow content creators in the LinkedIn Accelerator program, I've also met people that are outside of this space. Now, typically, when I mention supplier diversity, most people assume that I mean supplier diversification or supply chain diversification. That's a typical risk management practice where you deliberately split a service or product demand between more than one supplier. So you would have two contracts providing widgets or two contracts bringing a specific service into your facility. That way, if there's a disruption in one place or an interruption with one service provider, your operation is not left without the things and people you need to operate. Now, supplier diversity, this is a conscious corporate effort to award contracts to and do business with suppliers that are 51% owned and operated by a series of pre-designated groups. There are women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, disabled-owned businesses, veteran-disabled-owned businesses, and LGBTQ-owned businesses. There are also small businesses, and there's requirements there. And there are federally designated hub zone businesses in specific geographical areas. Now, you have to earn certifications in most cases to be considered an official diverse-owned business. If you happen to be a member of more than one of those communities, as Elizabeth Blount McCormick from Uniglobe Travel Designers is, I spoke with her a couple of weeks ago, she has to have a minority-owned certification and also a woman-owned certification. Now, that will typically take care of you in a corporate setting. If, however, you want to do business with the public sector, you might also have to meet specific federal, state, or city guidelines in order to count as a member of one of those communities in their area. And of course, once earned, all of these certifications have to be kept up to date. Now, some of the things that don't often come up are reasons beyond just administrative things about why an actual certification might lapse. If you take enough funding so that the same owner is in place, but they now no longer have control over 51% of the company, they can no longer have that certification. And the same is true of a company that ends up going public. Now, we would consider that a huge success, whether you get funding or whether you go public. But at that point, unless someone that meets the requirements still has 51% control of the company, you no longer belong in that category. So there's a lot of work associated with earning these certifications and keeping them up to date. Hopefully this explainer video helps you better understand supplier diversity. Please, if you have any questions about how these programs work, what they're meant to accomplish, and maybe some opportunities to even make them a little bit better, go ahead and type those into the comments because I'm always willing to welcome other people into these very inclusive supplier diversity discussions.